Since January 1st of this year, January 1st of 2022, there have been 137 pieces of legislation introduced by Republicans in 35 different states that would limit what teachers are able to say to their students or teach to their students in the classroom. Discussions on race, discussions about gender, discussions about sexual orientation, discussions about political movements, socialism, fascism, communism, legislation across the country, again, 35 different states, 137 different pieces of legislation, is aimed at curtailing all of that. All of it. In just 6 weeks of this year. And here's what's happening. Experts are already predicting, because they're starting to hear the rumblings from the teachers themselves, that good teachers are about to leave the profession. We are likely going to see a mass exodus of teachers across the country. Not because, by the way, they're mad I don't get to say these things about racism and communism. No. It's because of the liability that this legislation, or these pieces of legislation, puts on the teachers. In some states, and I talked about this last week, but some states have legislation that say, hey teacher, if you talk about this particular issue and any student complains, you have to pay a fine of $10,000 per student that complains, and if you try to raise money from any outside sources to pay your fines, you're fired, and you can't work in our state for 5 years. Why would you take that risk as a teacher? And that's the one, of course, in Oklahoma, where if you say something that contradicts the Bible or a religious belief, $10,000 per student per time. And at a teacher's salary of, on the high end of, $50,000 to $60,000 a year, 6 students get pissed at you any given year, file complaints, you just lost your year's salary. It's not worth it. Teachers will leave the profession. Not that I want them to, but I do think if this is the way education is going, they should. They absolutely should. We're destroying thought here in the United States. We're destroying history. Hell, about the only thing teachers are still going to be able to teach their students moving forward is math. That's it. Because you can't teach literature. So there goes a big part of, your English classes. You damn sure can't teach science because that's going to go against religious beliefs. Certainly can't teach social studies. Oh God, no. Because that's where you get into the issues of racism and socialism and communism and fascism and Nazism and all of that. So there goes that. So kids, I hope you're looking forward to 7 hours a day of math. Because that's probably the only non-controversial subject there is, but I'm sure, of course, Republicans are going to find a way to target math next. So that's what this is. It's an assault on education. It's an assault on an entire new generation of young Americans. We're depriving them of proper educations now. We're sending them out into the world dumber than we were. And that's a terrifying thought. Because you walk around every day and you see how stupid people are in this country. Well, guess what? We're making them even dumber now. I can only imagine how horrible things will be in this country 20 years from now if these 137 pieces of legislation become law. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.